Get it.
She's the girl.
The studio cat.
The damn gonna make a man.
I always thought he said imagine.
All right, go.
But it's Madge, I think.
Go, man. We waiting on.
Really?
Yeah, go.
Okay, the JoeJoe Show number 26, 26 for those who don't habla, coming at ya Sunday afternoon. Hottest topics north of the tropics, globally, nationally, and locally. Forefront, nationally. Domestic terrorism? Question mark. Mass shootings in the U.S., El Paso, Texas, Dayton, Ohio. Most of you already know what's happened and what's transpired. Our deepest condolences and sympathies for the families and those who lost their lives in such a tragic, useless, senseless act by two people who didn't need to do that to express their views. They could have done it like we're doing, otherwise than that. But you know what? Everybody's numb to it nowadays. There was just the second one in this weekend. There was 7 or 8 people shot in Chicago at a park. No telling how many murders were there. There were shootings last week at a Walmart and up there, at the, gosh, help me out, people. But, people are numb to it. And I guess you really don't feel the crux of it. You won't feel it till it affects you, just like everything else. So prayers, extreme prayers from the Joe and Joe Show to those victims, those in the hospital, those who are injured, hurt by this senseless, I want to say just stupidity. I don't want to categorize it any other way. Everybody else is doing that for me, the Democrats especially. I'd like to get to the local news if I could. Step right into it to give Joe all his time. The Mississippi River. Hate to go from that sad note to something good here in the capital city, but the Mississippi River has finally got below flood stage for the first time in about 6.5 months. 220 days to be exact. So that's a good thing. Boy, God forbid if the Mississippi River ever busts its banks here. Woo! I think we'd all be a goner from downtown all the way up in here to where we're at. The other news, nationally, globally, I'll just give you the globals in a rat-a-tat-tat. The Rocket Man was firing off more missiles, testing, this, that. I guess they're trying to get us in a nuke war with North Korea. He was just there with Trump walking over the DMZ. He's a funny, finicky-looking fella, I think. I think he's just having fun. But he's not going to piss too many people off here that ain't going to come back and get him. So he better watch out what he's doing. Pentagon, again, is issuing withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan in a deal with the Taliban. And that's what the headline said. You can read in the lines yourself. I'm on Little Joe's take on it in just a few, what he thinks about it. But Osama bin Laden's son is dead. That's the headline. I think they finally got to him, found him. That was easy. And they can't find all these emails on Hillary Clinton. They can't find Jimmy Hoffa's body, but they found Osama bin Laden's son and iced him. And in Russia, Putin and the mafia gang over there. The Kremlin is cracking down on protesters as police raid the houses and the homes and the organizations of the protesters. Boy, wouldn't that be great if they could do that here to Antifa, the thugs with masks and handkerchiefs over their faces, hitting people over the head with baseball bats because they stand for the truth. We stand for the truth. But you know what? What I always say about truth sounds like hate for those who hate truth. So I'm going to lead on to that. I got a lot of other stuff to say, but that was my first 5 minutes of fame again. Good to be back again. Love the last show. Demographic across the U.S. Know we're thinking about you. California to Florida, Japan, Heath Mendoza, USMC. But we know that we're here. I don't know how we can get in touch or contact with each other when crises go down, but we're here in spirit and love and prayer for you. There's some situations that arise in everybody's family. Crisis, this, that, and the other. You can meet it head on. If you need some help, phone call, telephone, call away. We're here for the Joe and Joe Show for y'all, the demographic across the U.S., our family. All right, Little Joe, that's me.
I just want to say hello to the some of our new subscribers out there. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening. I'm not in a particularly great mood today. I'm in a good mood every day, but it pains me to see that average people, I will call them average, seem to keep making the same mistakes in these mass shootings and, just believing everything that the lamestream media puts out there. I want to read something to you real quick off a book that was written in 1991. The secret government has been under attack lately, believe it or not, because people like myself, hardworking Americans, everybody is a little bit tired of it because we still have books out there. We still have documentary films that you can buy from people that actually made the documentary films. We still have some of the stuff on the internet, although now we are living in dangerous times because the internet is now being scrubbed. So I'm going to read you an excerpt from a book from 1991. The government encouraged the manufacture and importation of military firearms for the criminals to use. This is intended to foster a feeling of insecurity, which would lead the American people to voluntarily disarm themselves by passing laws against firearms. Using drugs and hypnosis on mental patients in a process called Orion, the CIA inculcated the desire in these people to open fire on schoolyards and thus inflame the anti-gun lobby. This plan is well underway and so far is working perfectly. The middle class is begging for the government to do away with the Second Amendment. I didn't write that. This is from a book that was written
1991.
in 1991. Does that sound like a situation you know? Does that sound like a scenario you know? Another thing that I want to get to. Another thing I want to get to real quick. How much longer is the average American gonna believe the lone wolf theory, the lone nut theory?
Yeah.
Okay? Let's go all the way back. Let's go way back. People that just, this came from two different people. Oh man, your take on history is great, man. I wish I knew what you do. I'd be able to defeat these idiot liberals when I talk to them.
Well, that's why we're here.
It's okay, dude. The listeners of the show, I told you I set out to make you one of the most informed audiences, and I'm not joking, okay? Y'all got me, and Joe.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, y'all got this show. Enjoy it while you still can, because YouTube and GooTube are acting really weird these days,
Yep.
and they're trying to scrub the internet of anything that goes against the government's official narrative. So let's go back. Here we go. John Wilkes Booth.
Abraham Lincoln.
The lone nut that killed Abraham Lincoln. Okay? Just some lone nut guy just assassinated the president of the most powerful country after the most bloody of the civil wars. And we're all led to believe there was just one guy that did it because he was patriotic about the South.
Well, they hung about 7 or 8 extra conspirators with him, too. Now, don't forget that.
It's not the point.
Gotcha.
The point is that you have here's a little known story that nobody knows, that they never tell you about, that they never talk about. Giuseppe Zangara. Giuseppe Zangara was a 5'2" Italian man that killed Anton Cermak in Chicago. Now, who was the mayor of Chicago at the time.
What year?
I think it might have been 33 or 34.
There you go.
Okay. So, but everybody said he tried to assassinate FDR. I'm sorry. When you fire 6 rounds into the guy standing next to FDR, you didn't mean to shoot FDR.
You missed
You
him.
shot the guy that was right next to him.
Just like
All
Huey
right,
Long.
So a lone nut that his trial was speedy, his execution was swift. Let's fast forward a little bit. Here's another lone nut you might have forgot. Lee Harvey Oswald.
He did
One
it.
man. One man.
He did it.
Joe, Come
I know.
on now.
I know. I'm tongue in cheek, and
I guess we'll have to do that episode in November.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
The 22nd.
John Hinckley Jr.
Right on.
And who was the guy that shot Wallace?
Arthur Brimmer.
Arthur Brimmer, lone white male nut.
Let me tell you what. I started believing all that. Sirhan, Robert F. Kennedy.
Sirhan, lone nut.
I thought I had to be pinched in that summer. Martin Luther King, forgot.
Lone nut, James Earl Ray.
Earl Ray.
One man.
Yeah, a white guy all the time.
White guy changing the course of history. So, okay, let's fast forward to the 90s. Timothy McVeigh.
Right on.
Lone nut, changing the course of history. And who did they go after? Who did they go after? They went after the guns, and remember it was almost like a ban on assault weapons.
Right.
You remember?
Right.
And it was they went after the right wing. Clinton said years later, man, that's a disaster. They got me reelected. Because Clinton was on his way out. Now, I don't want to go into Oklahoma City, but I will real quick. Oklahoma City benefited Bill Clinton and the bad guys tremendously.
I think a lot of those files are in there. What's going on
the
right
CIA,
now.
See, the CIA drug files from when Clinton was president in Arkansas. Was governor of Arkansas.
What's the name of that little town?
When Mena. Yeah, remember? Barry Seal, they did a movie. Anyway,
right.
So all those files from the CIA drug running made it, for whatever reason, to the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. And the DEA finally had, and the DEA and FBI and ATF, they finally had access to those files, and they started looking through them. So let's not lose topic. Let's not lose topic. So now we have these. Oh, what do we have again? Lone nut mass shootings.
Nuts.
Okay. All these guys that look like they're dazed. Okay, let's take the El Paso example. This guy, I listen, and Walmart's got cameras everywhere, and all they keep showing is that same old grainy photo of that guy.
Right.
That don't make no sense right there. Then, okay, he just calmly surrenders to police. Wouldn't you know if you're about to go to jail for the rest of your life and you done killed all those people? Like, wouldn't you want to just go out in a blaze of glory?
Right. I mean, he's firing.
Like, hold up in the Walmart and be like, what is Fagin say? Don't take me alive. Don't take me alive. So look, so you have all that going on, and then you have the eyewitnesses' accounts of. There was three shooters. Oh, we saw three guys. Oh, the El Paso police apprehended two guys, and all of a sudden it's just down to one guy?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
I'm not buying it, dude. I'm not buying it, and you shouldn't either. And that's why you tune into this show, because I'm about to link it to all the nefarious stuff going on. This has got CIA MK Ultra mind control written all over it. The guys that go and pull fuel selector valves on planes and crash the whole plane, that type of stuff.
Well, the thing that I get, and you brought it to my attention right after, that the guy just calmly, gave himself up. They show a picture of him. They show that grainy picture in Walmart. Okay, I mean, he's out there, with a rifle walking in Walmart or into the entryway, shooting all these poor people, defenseless people, shooting everything that he could possibly do. And then when the cops apprehend him, they just show him just walking like he looks almost, if he wasn't handcuffed in the back, you would think he was a customer and walking with some policemen. And then the other guy there in Dayton, Ohio, now I don't know what his thing was, but he killed his own sister down there at the party district of Dayton, Ohio. He was dressed fully armored with a bunch of magazines and a gun. Nobody alerted that. It went that quick, even though the police retaliated and shot him then. So if the police weren't there, and, it could have been worse. And it could have been worse at Walmart, okay, to take this idiot out. And now these guys are just sitting there. The Dayton, Ohio suspect is dead. The shooter's dead. Okay, thank God. That's great for him. Bad for other people. But this other kid, what are they going to try him in a state charge first? And that's Texas. That's tough Texas. But you got to realize these people doing all these shootings from the Parkland High School, all this stuff, white people. John Wilkes Booth, white. And then everybody wants to jump on the racist thing, the supremacist thing. This guy put out a manifesto, didn't include Trump. He's been ingrained in that hatred, anti-immigration, racist for years. This just didn't boil on. He drove 8 hours to come do his thing. Nobody at home knew what was going on. Do we have to scour the internet like they're scouring for our show? Do we have to, everything that comes up, does somebody get alerted from that nut over there in Parkland High School? I don't even know what happened to that kid now. His mama knew, everybody knew, his friends knew. Then you talk to these people and they say, oh yeah, he was a nutcase. He would have. When are you going to alert somebody? When are you going to alert? And that's another thing. But I'm going to tell you what, the Democrats don't care about these shootings. They don't care. They're posturing for votes. The Beto got up there and called Trump a racist. Hollywood jumped on the bandwagon, racist. There's more hate coming from the Democratic Party and Hollywood itself, which is a crock of BS, okay? Hollywood itself just come out with hate, even on TV daily. Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, all these other CNN, Don Lemon, the congresswomen, people, the squad, the odd squad, you call them, Maxine Waters, Elijah Cummings, everything, calling Trump a racist. And I'm a racist because I wear a MAGA hat. I'm a racist because I may be Republican or I'm American. I'm a racist, and I'm Mexican-American. So I'm getting off on that thing. But if you want to blame Donald Trump, blame Obama too, because there was a lot of mass killings then, okay? Blame the Bushes. There was a lot of mass killings there. It's not about politics. It's about what they're going to do. And the NRA has coughed in millions and millions and more millions and millions for that Second Right Amendment that we need to protect. Because if they want to take all your guns, then the government's going to come shoot you, and you're not going to have any defense, and it's over with. It's over with. That's what makes me mad. And I feel for the families and condolences to them and sympathies to all those affected by these tragedies and the tragedy that's going to come the next few weeks after this. It's always a mass killing or a bombing or something that's trying to defer the truth. And the media is got blood on their hands for it.
I want to get to a story real quick. I would like to thank one of our contributors to the show, Chester. You know who you are. Thank you very much for sending this story my way, because now it all makes sense. Let's go back to, I don't know, June 2019. There was an FBI agent caught manipulating boards on 8chan. Now, 8chan is where Q posts. Now, we've covered Q on the show. Can't remember what episode right at the moment, but we've covered Q on the show. If you're not familiar with the Q movement and the anons that when Q posts something, they go search and they go look this stuff up and it all starts turning out true, then I can't. We don't have time in this episode to go backwards, okay? There was an FBI agent that started getting on these 8chan in April. And what he started doing, he started acting like he was a white supremacist terrorist and trying to get people to chime in on it and talk about it. So a lot of people are just like, dude, this ain't the place for that. Why don't you go somewhere else or just go away? But he was trying to get people to chime in on his thread on 8chan. Dude turned out to be an FBI agent.
Wow.
But what he was trying to do was get a search warrant for the 8chan, and the FBI tried to shut down 8chan because, see, that's where Q posts. And the FBI tried to shut down 8chan and get a search warrant for everybody's IP address. You know what I'm saying? Because 8chan is like an anonymous thing.
Okay.
So now it all makes sense, because a few days ago, the FBI put out a memo saying that the conspiracy, the QAnon conspiracy movement, it could lead to domestic terrorism, and we need to designate these guys domestic terrorists. So we have to get rid of the Q guys because they could go do something really bad. Like back when Pizzagate dropped. I'm sorry, the whole memo for this turned out to be BS. They used a source from like MSNBC or Yahoo News something or another. And everybody called them on it. It's like, dude, are you serious? So what they're trying to do, the FBI, this is the FBI, mind you, trying to do is discredit anybody that's going and researching these things on their own. And you know what their thing is? They're going after the QAnon guys and the Pizzagate guys. I'm sorry, Pizzagate was in the Podesta emails. If you go read the Podesta emails, you can't deny that. I saw something today about how a U.S. federal court basically said Julian Assange didn't violate U.S. law or some type of law when he published the DNC emails. So that means he didn't violate any laws when he published the Podesta emails. So that, you know what that means? That stuff is real. Pizzagate is real. It's all in there. This is where this all started. This is where it all started. And if you still on the fence out there, let's talk about something else that's related to that. That's really going on behind the scenes. That Q was posting about a year ago or 2 years ago before this even went down. And this is what they're scared about. The good guys have uncovered the bad guys' pedophile networks. That's right.
That's it.
Epstein Island, Lolita Express, all the Hollywood elites, all the Democrat and all the political elites
Clinton.
from all over the world. All over the world. They're having a summit right now in Italy. They're calling it the Google camp or whatever. They're calling it climate change. No, you know what it is? It's the Epstein Damage Control Summit. Because they're all in on it. Because they're all controlled by the same elite people. And it's over, dude. It's over. You can't support it anymore. You have to stop. You have to stop using Google. Dude, I'm this close to getting off YouTube and going back to SoundCloud, period.
There you go. I mean, there it is. He tells me this. I read it. I check it out. It's news to some general public, and it's not to others, and it's unbelievable, totally unbelievable. But there is
unbelievable. But you know what?
Worldwide
it's true, dude. It's true. They got Epstein in jail. They have Epstein in jail, and you know what the deep state I really think is so scared about is that he's going to make it to trial.
Yeah, and I was watching another show the other day, Democracy Now! They were talking to some Jesse the Body Ventura. We've mentioned him on the show, that he's amazed that he's still alive. That amazed that he's made it this far. And
because he's being protected, because the good guys, I think, are in control. And let me clear one thing up, Joe, and then I'll let you take it.
That's fine.
There's a lot of non-believers out there about the Q movement, and I've kind of been on the fence too. But now that the FBI and the deep state are doing all this stuff to discredit the Q movement and discredit the Anons, like researchers out there really going and digging this dirt up, then dude, that's it. It's true. It's true. This is what Q has been posting, even if it's a CIA psyop. The CIA or whoever is now being controlled by the good guys that are after these guys. You know, this has been years in the making. All this deep state, secret society, pedophile networks, this is it. Average people got to come together, quit this whole race baiting, quit this whole division over race that the Democrats are pushing, because that's all they got. The Democrats, that's all they got. All they got is racism.
Really?
All they got is, and now the gun control narrative. Now you watch. The next Democrat debate or the next couple of days, it's already started.
Gun control.
It's Trump's racism is fueling all this hatred, and we got to take the guns away from Trump's, the people that have these guns, because they're getting, they're getting incited by Trump's hate and racism.
Right.
And they have guns, so we have to take guns from all, because there's a bunch of stupid idiots out there that think taking guns away from law-abiding citizens is the thing to do. I'm sorry. I started off the show with an excerpt from the secret government and how they want to take the guns away. That's it. Once they take the guns away, dude, there's no way to fight back. What are we going to do? You grab a branch off of a tree? Come on, dude. Think about it. And for you out there, for anybody out there in the minority communities, they're going to come for your guns first. Let that sink in. 5, 4, 3, 4, about 5 seconds.
Wow. I mean, we're just espousing what everybody should already know, what you can figure out. I mean, the lone wolf killers and stuff like that, that's a thing of the past. I mean, it's so commonplace, and it's just, it comes up. They're going to go back to Congress tomorrow. They're catching planes. They're getting their tails back into Washington to go ahead on the background check thing. I thought the background check thing was already there. What's going to determine that I'm a sane American here, no mental problems, never been to a psychiatrist, diabetes doctor, and all that stuff? Yes. Broken bones? Yes. You know, like he said, the Democrats are going to jump on and jump on Trump, and to be called a racist when, I mean, the guy obviously loves America. I don't know how he elected and people liked him. I do know, and you know too, there was no Russian hoax, collusion, all that crap.
Now, look, I want everybody to remember one thing, okay? And it goes to show you that the media plays the most important role in this. And this is why you have to turn off the lamestream media. And you have to, quit using Google. Google and YouTube are scrubbing all kind of stuff from the internet. We're going to link below to something that we posted on the Joe and Joe Show about a documentary called The Century of Enslavement about the Federal Reserve. Now, I guarantee out of our 20 listeners or 20 people that watch the show, probably only one or two of y'all actually went and watched that documentary. But you know what? That's a victory for me. If one or two of y'all actually watched that documentary, then we're getting somewhere. Then I educated one or two people. But that video has now been removed from YouTube. Okay? This is not a joke, dude. I'm not making this up. That video has now been banned from YouTube. And and Corbett, the maker of the video, gives the explanation why. And it's not a good, you know what I'm saying? It's just not, it doesn't make you feel all, like you still have some type of chance. We're losing our chances here very fast. Let me throw this out there at you. And this is how you know that the media is full of BS. In the past 48 hours, the USA has lost 34 people to mass shootings. And my heart goes out to them. But also, in the past 48 hours, you've lost 500 American citizens to medical errors, 300 American citizens to the flu, 250 American citizens to suicide, 200 to car accidents, and 40 due to homicide via a handgun. So where's the real issue here? What's really going on? What's really going on? Why? What about tobacco deaths?
What about opioid deaths?
What about opioid deaths? How many people are overdosing? What about drunk driving fatalities?
Right.
Add them all up for the past 24 to 48 hours. I bet it's over 34. I'm just saying, dude, the media plays a huge role in this. And now you have Google and YouTube scrubbing the internet of anything that doesn't fit the official narrative. Instagram's acting up. There was people that I follow on Instagram that's getting their stuff blocked and their account suspended for 24 hours and 48 hours. This is it, bro. You got to take a stand against it now. You got to start talking to everybody you know about it. And I know at first, dude, it makes you sound crazy. I know, dude. I've been through it.
Yes.
But for the most part, dude, once people start actually listening to you and looking at their own, they start seeing these abnormalities that you're saying, like, you know what? This is messed up. What he was talking about was actually kind of right.
Right. And that the two shootings, the police enforcement, the EMTs, all the medical help came running within minutes of the shootings and the deaths, just the tragedy that it is. And they are being fired upon and hurled insults, disliked, racist, cops against black lives, white lives. They're despised, and they went out there and they saved more lives. To give an example of that, de Blasio out of the bozo mayor out of New York running for president. The kids in Harlem were throwing water bombs and water bucketing the policemen, and the policemen were told not to retaliate back or arrest these kids. that it was just, there was disrespect for the police force, but just to go along with it to not cause any other problems, which is a crock. But I mean, I believe that our police across the nation and the EMT, the firemen and everything put their life on the line for us every year, every day, every minute, every second. And they should be respected, and that the response that they gave in these two tragedies was immense, even mentioned by President Trump, the mayors of both cities, and the congressmen of the cities. So I think that's a plus factor there. We need more of that.
All right, we're running out of time, but I'm going to leave you with a little something here. Okay, now, if you hashtag Clinton body count, it actually should be the Clinton Bush body count. Okay, because a lot of these people, at least in the early days, were tied to both the Bushes too.
Right.
So the Clinton body count, actually, it keeps tallying.
Yes.
It keeps growing.
I hate to say it, but
I know.
It tallies for those who speak the truth.
Well,
I want you to know the truth.
Here we go. This guy put this together, and God bless this guy. He's, all this stuff you can look up, but let's look at how many people you got. Okay. 20 suicides, 22 of the murders were bodyguards and escorts to the Clintons. 56 of them were actual military or law enforcement. 8 of them were investigative journalists. 7 of them for women, for all you Me Tooers out there. 5 of them were fundraisers. 13 lawyers are dead, 23 witnesses, 5 medical staffs, and 11 political staffs. And that's the tally as the Clinton body trail goes.
Well, I mean, if you believe everything on the internet, I guess you'd be a nut. If you believe everything in the paper you get thrown on your lawn, hey, there's different opinions. I never believed anything till I saw it, and that's just the way. I wasn't raised like that. That's just what I formulated. I tried to tell you when they shot Robert F. Kennedy, shot Martin Luther King in the same year. It was 1968. I was 14 years old.
Done by the same people.
I told Mama, pinch me, Mama. She said, they control all that up there. You have nothing to do with it. They control all that up there. And she was just telling me what I don't need to worry about. It was like a thunderstorm coming, and I was hiding, clutching my mother, and it was a thunderstorm was coming like a hurricane. And they go, "Oh, Mom," and saying my prayers. I was so scared and traumatized by what had happened to RFK, because I couldn't believe it happened to JFK, 5 years earlier.
And they didn't have the internet back then.
No.
They didn't have Instagram. They didn't have QAnon. They didn't have Anonymous 8chan. And they already knew what was going on. Well, so damn good and well, all what's the apparatus is today was just constructed to brainwash the younger kids that didn't know what was going on.
And that's what's happening now.
And that's exactly what's happening
in the colleges.
Now.
If you can
not even that. I know people that
elementary and junior high schools.
I know people that are my age. Head in the clouds, brain dead, don't know what's going on out there. And that's the saddest part. But hey, I got a joke for you. It's funny, but it ain't funny.
Okay.
Hey, why don't the Clintons like Jehovah's Witnesses?
I don't know. Granny was a Jehovah's Witness.
The Clintons don't like any witnesses.
There you go. All right. And I mean, everybody knows it. Well, I mean, shut us off, click us off, scrub us. Everybody knows
23 witnesses. Clinton body count keeps tallying, and I think this one only goes up to 2016. I think we might have to add some more.
What a show. I thought little Joe was about to come out of his shirt there, or his skin, but it is true, and it is happening. And I'm just worried about my friends at 65, my family at 65, my family across the demographic, which we always talk about. We're full of family. You saw last week's show at the house, birthdays, grandsons. We care about everybody. We care about you. And if you like us, subscribe to us. If you like us, comment more down below. We like to hear from you. JR, Mark, anybody that's listening to the show. Gary, good show, bad show. Hey, you guys are off your rocker. Remember, we've told you that before, but we're not scared. And I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, Little Joe, we formulate shows. We wish we could come on every day. Diamond and Silk do it. They come on every day, and they got some good attitudes and good answers to what's going on with the Democratic Party and the other people espousing all this hatred toward Donald Trump and stuff like that. That's where the hatred is starting. They want to call him hate and race. They're doing it to him every day for blame him on everything. Yeah, he needs to be blamed. It's like you're the big dad in the house. The toilet breaks. Blame it on Dad. The door's not locked. Blame it on Dad. You missed the trash. Blame it on Dad.
We like blaming on the cat.
That's it. Blame it on the cat.
Yeah,
but
blame it on the
anyway.
cat. All right, look, I'm going to leave you with something.
And I got the shout-outs after that.
From the slate. And this is what I'm talking about. Now, you're going to see all the Hollywood idiots and all the pedo wooders out there. Trump's a racist. We need to take guns away. You watch. In the next 24 to 48 hours, you're going to be bombarded with it. You're going to be bombarded.
Yep.
All right? And then you got stuff like this from the slate. Now, I don't look at the slate, but somebody drew my attention to this. 8chan is a normal part of mass shootings now. And here's the thing. 3 white nationalist shooters appear to have posted manifestos on the same troll forum. Here's how 8chan became a meme-filled refuge for hate. And this is the same 8chan that an FBI agent was trying to get people to post on stuff and to comment on stuff so they could get a search warrant. Entrapment. So they could get a search warrant to go after 8chan users and get everybody's IP address. What? So they could do like Russia and raid their houses? We got to shut this 8chan QAnon movement down. It's fake. It's fake, but we still have to take the necessary steps to shut it down. Give me a break, dude. Give me a break.
You know, I grew up in the Cold War. I was born 54, baby boomer year, I guess. I was born in August. It must have been a cold winter for Mom and Dad, if I can say that, and I'm glad I'm here. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. But, I mean, I grew up in the Cold War. Russia was the bad guy. They were going to put the red button down and smash us off the face of the earth.
Russia.
I grew up with that. And then, then you had the détente, and then you had this, and Mr. Gorbachev tear that wall down. Well, that was all great history, and that was history. And you're living in history now, and we can't say it enough. We got other things to go to, but just stop and listen. Just stop and listen maybe a second. We don't know it all. We just coming to you with all the information. We enjoy doing what we're doing. We love you listeners. We're going to get to football here pretty soon. We got about 4 weekends left.
Next show. I don't give a damn
totally
what's going
involved
on.
About football.
I don't give a damn what's going on. Next show, we're gonna do it totally about football. We're gonna get some guys.
Some call-ins.
Yeah, we're gonna get some call-ins. We're gonna get some guys. We're gonna talk about the Saints. Grudgingly talk about the Saints. The Saints ain't even my team, but we're gonna talk about the Saints. We're gonna talk about the Tigers. We're gonna talk about the Sooners. We're gonna talk about the Longhorns. And we're gonna talk about the rest of college football and how much we hate Alabama.
Yeah. But anyway, I got them shout-outs. I already gave it to Heath Mendoza. Had a birthday same as mine. Happy birthday, son. I'd like to shout out to Too Saucy, that pasta garden. It's going to open up soon down there, Jefferson and Highland. That's a buddy of mine, Joe. Good luck with that. And I want to say a shout-out to Woodstock, 50 years old this month. I mean, I watched the show this morning. They said there was over 450,000. The estimates were 500,000. It may have been 600,000, and nothing but peace and love. And nothing but fun and music. But then again, you talk to 1.5 million people, and it's counting 2.5, maybe 3.5 million people said they were there. So, in other words, it was a great history thing. There was peace and love. There was David Crosby, Stills and Nash, said there was no rapes, there was no robberies, but there was plenty of drugs. Well, I mean, that's what it was. And those people were protesting to an extent of the Democrat, the way the U.S. was, that long war in Vietnam.
Yeah, and those drugs came from the CIA, I guarantee.
Yeah, I'm sure. And Jimi Hendrix played his national anthem on the guitar, and he wasn't called a racist for that. So, that's a good thing.
And just, hey, one real quick one. The CIA ruined the 60s. The CIA ruined the 60s.
Well, yeah.
The CIA ruined the 80s with the crack epidemic. The CIA ruined the 80s for sure.
Right.
They ruined the 90s, too.
Well, they've been experimenting with LSD for years prior to that.
Yeah, dude.
Don't get him started. Anyway.
I'm done. I'm done for the night.
That's good.
I'm unhooking my mind.
Prayers and love to all our family across the United States and in Japan. And for you little guys out there, I'd like to, before I give the little guys shout out, saying your prayers and drinking your milk, I want y'all to do that. Say your prayers longer, get with your family, practice good faith, good intellectual thinking, dads and moms, about what you got. I do now. I do at 65. But I mean, bottom line is that you never know how you're going to feel till things affect you. And I'm just talking about my son there in Victoria, Ricky. His family, his house was attempted burglarized, and it was a traumatic thing for them. They're going to fight through it. They're going to bolster up. They're going to do what they have to do, and it happens. But it really hit us hard, and we care and love and pray for y'all. And good night. I could ramble all day. Peace and love. Good night.